Hey folks, Levi here once again. Hey guys, afternoon everybody. Hope you all are good out there wherever you're at. Hope you're all good. And well, finally, welcome back to another 2015 review, and this is my last 2015 review. I might read 2015 movies in the future, any more newer franchises or any other 2015 movies, maybe, but for now, this is my last 2015 review. It's been a long ride doing these kind of reviews for me. This started with the Fantastic Four movie, the 2005 movie. That's how long I've been doing these certain reviews. For almost like 4 or 5 years. So, wow, it's taken me a long time to get to here, But I'm here, let's get to the 2015 review. And today, for my last 2015 review, I am reviewing the 2015 biopic drama film that is based on a true story. And it stars a great cast in here, like Mark Ruffalo, Michael Keaton, Rachel McAdams, Lee Sharper, John Slattery, and Stanley Tucci. And that is Spotlight. Yes. Here you have Uncovering the Truth, the Spotlight Team Roundup, where you have the real people, the real Spotlight team, who talk about the situation like in this movie, what they went through. Spotlight, a look inside. And also you have the state of journalism. So, see, I'll take this little cover off, I guess, I'll see a little better there. But this is my last 2015 review, so I'll get to it. The film is based basically what happened of child sexual abuse in the Boston area. And pretty much it was the Spotlight team from the Boston Globe that investigated this. And this was back in 2001, I believe. Let's see. I know I put it on here somewhere. It was the Catholic, Austria's. It was a Boston sex abuse scandal. It was, Well, it started in 2001. In 2002, criminal charges were brought against 5 Roman Catholic priests. Pretty much what all these priests did from the movie's ending, I remember, was 249 priests, 249, maybe just 5 of them, I don't know, that were molesting children in the Boston area. And there were some cover-ups of it as well. Until, of course, the Spotlight team got onto this. I don't know the whole story. And I don't want to mention certain people's names, that this happened to. But there were a lot of victims as well. Some people that were arrested, and charged with what they did, so. Yeah. But that's what this movie is based about. And how the movie came to be. Writing. The film was written by Tommy Guthrie and co-writer Josh Singer. When McCarthy was asked how he and co-author tackled the research and writing process, he stated, "As I said, I turned the film the first time. Passed it over the first time. There's probably some indication of how intimidating it was, but I think it's always with any big assignment, once you get over that initial shock and awe of how much material there was to cover, you start digging into the material and become really fascinated and engaged by it, and we did, and it was a lot of work, but it was exciting work. It was really interesting work. Concerning through details of not just the investigations, but its findings, and trying to determine what was most helpful in telling our story. I think having Tim Braze on it was somewhat helpful too." McCarthy and Singer completed the script on June 2013. It was listed on the 2013 list of unproduced screenplays. Singer told creative screenwriter that one of his goals for the film was to highlight the power of journalism, which he feels has been waning. He explained, "The story isn't about exposing the Catholic Church. We were not on some mission to grow people's faith. In fact, Tom came from a Catholic family. The motive was to tell the story accuracy while showing the power of the newsroom, something that has largely disappeared today. The story is important. Journalism is important, and there is a deeper message in the story. Principal photography filming began on September 24th, 2014 in Boston, Massachusetts, and continued on October at Hamilton, Ontario. Filming took place at Fairmont Park. Main current Boston Public Offices in Boston, the Boston Public Library, McMaster University. The film's editor Tom McGilley said of the post-production process, we edited for 8 months for the film. We just wanted to keep refining the film. We cut 5 scenes, some regardless of other scenes. Often we would cut out a line or two to make a scene a little tighter. The Boston Police Station to begin the opening scene was filmed in Toronto at the former Toronto Police Service 11 Division Station at 209 Mabey Street. Historical accuracy. The film only depicts the events leading up to the publication of the Spotlight Team's first article, where the team actually continued publishing follow-up reports for only 2 years afterwards. While Sasha Pfeiffer did indeed write the numerous follow-up reports on Pac-Man, the interview depending on the film was blended of 2 interviews conducted by her and Steve Corkin, both of which took place a month after the events of the film took place, after the first story was published. A scene where Matt Carroll discovers one of the pre-streaming cinders down the block from where he lives is based on an actual discovery he made during the investigation. With one minor detail change, Carroll actually lived down the street from John Riordan, the priest whose case sparked the investigations. This was changed with the filmmaker so they imagined Carroll putting Riordan's photo on his refrigerator to warn his children would look unrealistic. In a subplot, Eric Malish sent a list of 20 press clubs not seeing the fact that the story was buried in Metro. So some pretty interesting reads here. The cast of the movie, you have the Spotlight Team, you have Mark Ruffalo as Michael Renens, and these are real people they're playing. And Michael Keaton. Well, you know Mark Ruffalo, you guys know him for, he's done some movies, like, he was in Zodiac, I know he was on 13 going on 30, I believe. But y'all know him for Bruce Banner, the Hulk, and the MCU Marvel films, you know, like in the Avengers Age of Ultron, Thor Ragnarok, and Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. So y'all should know him from Marvel, basically. And Michael Keaton has worked with Robbie Robinson, who was the leader of Spotlight, you know, the guy in charge of Spotlight, I believe. But y'all know Michael Keaton for Batman and Batman Returns. At least I know him from this. I know him. He's from Mr. Mom and Beetlejuice comedies and Night Shift, which I've never seen. But he's done a lot of other films too. Yeah. He's in Spider-Man Homecoming. He voiced Toy Story 3, he voiced the character, I know the character he voiced in Toy Story 3, I'm sorry. Ken, yeah, he voiced Ken for Toy Story 3, so yeah. Michael Keaton's done a few bit of movies, but I did in Pacific Heights. That was a good movie. But I mostly know him for Batman. Rachel McAdams as Sasha Pfeiffer. I guess I'm not going to look at pictures, but remember this is the real Spotlight Team I'm mentioning. Rachel McAdams, I first, knew about her from Mean Girls. That's how I know about her. I know she's done some other movies too, but Mean Girls, because I saw that in the theaters with my family. I know she's done plenty of other films too. I know she was in Sherlock Holmes, the first 2 movies. And she was in Doctor Strange, which is a Marvel movie. She did Red Eye, which is a Wes Craven movie, really underrated film, in my opinion. Yeah, but she's a beautiful actress. Love Rachel McAdams. Lee Shriver as Marty Baron. Lee Shriver, I just know him basically for the Scream movies, his Cotton Weary, which is the 3 Scream films, and of course I know him for X-Men vs. Wolverine. I don't hate that movie. I like that film, but it's just another read for another day. And of course he voiced Kingpin for Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse. Yeah. But he's a good actor. John Slattery as Ben Bradell Jr. I might have seen him. He was in a TV show called Mad Men. He was in Iron Man 2. Oh yes. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah, of course, he was in the Marvel films too. He played Howard Stark. In Iron Man 2, Ant-Man, Captain America, Civil War, Avengers Endgame, he played Howard Stark. Tony Stark, Iron Man's father. So I'm like, wow, I can't believe I just didn't notice that. Brian James as Matt Carroll. I don't think I've seen that guy in any movies. Stanley Tucci as Mitchell Groveling, an attorney representing victims of sexual abuse. Stanley Tucci, I know he's in Transformers 4, Age of Extinction, because I remember seeing him in that. Yeah, his acting was bad in that movie. But I remember him in The Terminal. He was in the Hunger Games films, and he was in the Beauty and the Beast remake. But he's a good actor. Jamie Sheridan, Billy Crook, Richard Jenkins, Paul Giuffre, Lynn Corey, Neil Hoff, Michael Crichton, Laura Hitty, Tim Borson, and Jimmy LeBlanc. So, it won numerous guides, guilds, and Critics Association members. Spotlight won the Academy Award for Best Picture along with Best Original Screenplay. The film, again, like I said, was directed by Tom McCarthy. Well, I think I've seen some of his movies. He was also not just a director, but a screenwriter, and he acted in a couple of movies, too. He directed The Station Agent. He wrote the script for Disney's Pixar Up. And The Cobbler, he directed that and did the script for that and stuff, with starring Adam Sandler. Any other movies? Let's see. Christopher Robin, he wrote the script for that, with Only Rare. And this all, yeah. He had a few acting credits, like in, not any other movies I've seen. It was produced by Paul Foss, Steve Coleman, Nicole Brooklyn, Michael Sugar, written by Tom McCarthy and Josh Singer. Josh Singer, well, he's done script for other movies that I've not seen. Music is by Howard Shore, who did music for the Lord of the Rings films and the Hobbit films. He did the music score for The Fly with Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis, which was a remake, I believe. He did the musical for Ed Wood, directed by Tim Burton, I think starring Johnny Depp. And he did the musical for Mrs. Doubtfire, starring the late Robin Williams. Alright. The cinematography is by, I can't say this, Masbuno T. I can't say the damn name right. I'm going to butcher it. It's headed by Tom McLeod. It's distributed by Open Road Films. It was released November 6, 2015 here in the United States. It was released September 3rd, 2015 in Venice. It's 129 minutes long. The budget is $20 million. The cost to make the film. And at the box office, it made $98.3 million. Might have made 100 or 200 or 300, whatever, but it still was a success at the box office. It was first showed at the Venice Film Festival, and the audience erupted in laughter with the film reported following the events of the film, which I don't know what that's about, but okay. And the film was nominated for some Academy Awards, which it deserved. It was on a lot of top 10 lists from some film critics. The only one I know was, I think, Peter Travers. But critics liked it. Alright, let's get into the plot synopsis of what Spotlight is about. Alright. Sorry. Alright. Pretty much in 2001, okay, the plot synopsis of Spotlight, what this film was about. In 2001, editor Marty Barton of the Boston Globe assigns a team of journalists, the Spotlight team, to investigate the allegations against John Jegan, an unforced priest accused of molesting more than 80 boys. And of course a bunch of other priests when they investigate a little more, but they have to prove it. Led by editor Walter Robbie Robertson, played by Mike Keaton, reporters Michael Brendis, Wolfler, Matt Carroll, and Trisha Pfeiffer, played by Rachel McAdams. Victims, and try to install sensitive documents. The reporters make it their mission to provide proof of a cover-up of sexual abuse within the Roman Catholic Church. But they also have to prove it, and it takes a while to prove during the film. And, you know, again, this film is rated R, warning right now. And if you watch this movie, you know, when these people that been through this, it's really disturbing. I'm not going to mention these certain things that they're saying because it's just too disturbing to talk about. You know. Yeah. It is very disturbing to talk about. Okay. I'm just going to put this slip cover back on. We're not done, I'm just putting it back on. Alright, so Spotlight, let's get to it. Alright, and I'm going to read some quotes from the movie at the end and then give my final opinion on it and stuff. And maybe mention some other, you know, other stuff I have planned for my channel, other videos. But anyway, so let's get to Spotlight. The film opens up in 1976 at a Boston station when two policemen discuss the arrest of Reverend John Guggen, you know, for child mutilation. And like I said, we also forget in the movie that, you know, well before this time, that pretty much lawyers and stuff, they cover this up for years. They hide this away. They cover it up. Like, there's proof about it, but for some reason, till 2001, so maybe like 30 years, I'm guessing, or 40. Yeah. No, it had to be 30 or something like that, yeah. They keep this a secret, you know, of what these priests did. And pretty much the arrest is hush up, and the priest is basically, he's released. You know, I can't believe it when I watch this movie. When you see this movie and you just find out what happens, like, what? And then you take years later in 2001, the Boston Globe in Boston, who was the biggest, they're like, in 2001, they are the biggest newspaper. And of course, this is the same year as 9/11, which this movie does touch upon that. Where, of course, their chief editor is retiring. They all say goodbye to him. I like to when Mike Keaton plays Walter Robbins, you know, Walter, who, you know, they would joke around with him a little bit. I thought that was some funny moments. And then they hire Marty Barron, who I believe is played by Lee Schreiber. Did I get that right? Yeah, Lee Schreiber, who plays Marty Barron. And they kind of, they don't meet him at first. He just meets them at dinner. They're at this restaurant talking about, you know, you have a team Spotlight. Yeah, been around for some time. You know, we keep our stuff included. We do like base tours. Or like Spotlight, this team that, you know, Spotlight, which is Michael Keaton, you know, this journalist team. They're investigative reporters. They do all these big top stories, but they keep it confidential. they keep their team confidential. And Michael Keaton is in charge of them, in charge of this group. They're a small group that takes months to research and publish investigative articles. That takes a while to do. Well, he reads one about a lawyer, and Marty, meets the whole group, meets all the team members, and he tells everybody, all the journalists, that he wants to investigate the Roman Catholic priest child abuse, see if they could find out more about it and see if they can investigate it. And this is what he gives a report would do, and of course he signs the spotlight, who tells them to put their other, put their other story on hold and focus on doing this. So, Mark Keaton tells his team, Rachel McAdams and Mark Ruffalo and them, we gotta be disgruntled about this. We gotta question victims. We gotta find out stuff about this, so they have to investigate a little more. Mark Ruffalo tries to find out, by going to Stanley Tucci, who's a lawyer in the movie. He doesn't want to talk to him at first. He just wants to ignore him. Like, I'm just too busy. He's like, can you please talk? And he doesn't want to listen to him. He's like, okay. I like it at first though when he just, okay, just sits down. And when not his nurse, but his assistant's walking away, and then he sneaks up into his office. He's like, I don't have time to talk to you right now. Sorry, I just remembered something. Tells him that he doesn't have time to talk to him right now. While they figure out one of their other people. Sorry. Shit. They talk to the first victim. Sorry, I'm lost now. I just kind of noticed something and it just distracted me for a minute. And of course, Michael Keaton and Rachel McAdams, they talked to this, I forget the names again, it's Usher and Walter, talked to this lawyer about what happened with all these priests, and of course he won't give them their names. He's like, I'm sorry guys, that's confidential, I'm not going to tell you. But like I said with Stanley Tucci, Mark Ruffalo, Rennes has to talk to Gardini again. When he tells him he's part of the Spotlight team, he's like, what, Spotlight's on this? Because I guess some people might know about Spotlight and that they're a good team. He's like, okay. So we'll do this interview. They begin to uncover it. They get it from this one kid who, like I said, the victims in this movie, they talk about how they were molested and they go into some details about it. So it gets into some serious, really, really serious talk, which is very disturbing to listen to in the movie. I'm not going to go into details about it. I just don't want to. It's just too disgusting. It's very disgusting and not very good to mention, but this really happened. This is based on a true story movie. It's very sad. You feel bad for these victims. Some man boys who were, of course, gay, and of course, what these priests would do to them. In order to get close to God, kind of would favor them, and of course molest them. It's very disturbing to hear their stories. But Mark Ruffalo, Stanley Tucci lets him interview a guy, and he gives him some details. Rachel McAdams interviews one guy, interviewed one guy, and it just gets very disturbing, to listen to. Like I said, disturbing to listen to. And they get close to almost, if they continue investigating, because they're working 7 days a week, not getting any rest, working their butts off just to get all this done, and of course nobody really wants to talk. Keep it hush hush. Keaton tries to talk to a good friend of his, he plays golf with, another lawyer he plays golf with. Of course, they just don't ever want to talk about it. They end up discovering that it was 90 abusive priests in Boston, 6% of priests. Yeah, pretty much 60% of priests, that have molested young children, young boys, And probably little girls too, I don't know. I'm sure that's the case, these pedophiles that were doing it for a long time. And of course, Mark Ruffalo spends his time in the movie trying to get these documents. They're trying to get these documents to get proof of it, but of course the judge won't let them. Stanley Tucci's trying to help out. Eventually he's able to get it. Eventually. But I liked it when Michael Keaton was telling that lawyer, the lawyer douchebag, I won't call him, he's like, listen, we're going to need to do this story, we're going to do this story, you're going to tell us which one, you better tell us. Because either way, we're writing a story. I can't do Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton, he always gives a good performance, but man, Michael Keaton is still intimidating. He was always intimidating as Batman, he still as hell is intimidating. Even in Spider-Man Homecoming, he scared the shit out of me. And I'm not lying, he does scare me. Even in this movie. But through their research, they get a list of 87 names, and Rachel McAdams and the other guy, one of the other guys, with a mustache here. They go to try to talk to more people. That some of them don't want to talk. One priest, this idiot priest I thought, who was one of the, pedophiles, runs his mouth about it and finds it to be okay to rape a child. I'm like, really? Really? A pedophile must be really sick to just want to talk about it. I'm like, why would a priest that, molested a child want to run his mouth off about that? I'm sure they want to keep that a secret. But some people avoid Rachel McAdams or don't want to talk to them. One guy, tells the guy with the mustache, get out of my house, don't come back and harass us. Almost gets violent. The guy with the mustache also figures out that there's a pedophile living in the neighborhood who was a priest, who was also molesting boys. He doesn't show a picture, but he writes a note to his children, avoid the street and avoid the man living in it. And as they're getting close to solving the case, September 11th occurs, and they're forced to defrost the story for now. But as time goes on, when Mark Ruffalo works for more against Stanley Tucci, and they find out that the publicly available documents that Cornwall, they were there, they were just ignored. Even a few times where he tries to go into the door, he's trying to knock on his way to getting there. Of course, they won't listen to him, and he's having a hard time getting these documents. And he wants to print them out. He pays a guy like $83 just to do it. He wants to run the story immediately, and Keaton does good work, but we need more proof. We need more. We can't just rush the story out. We can't do that. He's like, why the hell not? Because I said so. Like Keaton says. He says, well, why don't we go talk to Mac? Talk to Howard Stark. That's what I'm calling him. Howard Stark is like, no, I'll say when we go talk to Howard. I'll say when. And then he's like, what the hell are you talking about? He loses his temper. He snaps on, it could have been you, me, one of us. This is the right thing to do. We need to do this. And he's like, you finished? They kind of snap at each other for a bit, and he just walks out angry. Rachel McAdams can understand his frustration, and they've been working on this for a while. So, tensions rise, and she has a talk with him a bit. But eventually, they're able to do more investigating. After that, they're able to find out some more. Oh, God dang it. Sorry. They're able to explore more, able to talk to more victims, and more victims do talk to them. And eventually, they get enough proof, they're able to write the story. They publish it in early 2002. It should be right after Christmas. Like it when Michael Keaton went to his lawyer friend. It says, we got the story now, we got to do this, we need your approval on it. And he's like, okay. He's like, get out of my house. And he's like, yeah, nobody did nothing. Exactly, you didn't even do your job. Robertson also, like Keaton says that he was given a list of 20 pedophile priests, but he never said anything about it. And then eventually the story goes to print with a web, and of course the newspapers, the trucks take it out, and the story becomes huge. Where the Spotlight team, they're getting his help. They're being flooded with phone calls from all these victims. And because of what they've done, there's been major scandals around the United States. Because of them, because of their actions, because of the right thing that they did, getting more trouble. It was about, I think, 1,000 cases at the end of the movie, and 249 priests were arrested for child mutilation. And of course, I'm sure some of these priests were arrested, but because of the Spotlight team, because of their actions, they were able to help a lot of people out, as doing their job. They did their job right, and they helped people, and because of that, these victims were able to come forward, a lot more of them after the story was written, and it helped them out. It takes them a while to get there in the movie, because people are like, oh no, we don't talk about this. But when they get there, they get there. I don't want to mention I don't want to talk about about the child molest that goes on with these victims when they talk to some people. It's just a little too disturbing, and it's very sad to watch too. It's very heartbreaking to watch these people talk about what they went through, because this was also based on true stories. So it's just not easy to watch, But at the end of the film, like I said, being filled with phone calls, and because of their actions and because of the right thing they did with their story, is able to get more victims, and of course, priests get what they deserve. They end up in jail, which where they belong. Any child pedophile or child molester, they belong in prison. That's what they should be, because those are sick people. That's just sick. I don't know how a person can molest a child. I think that's sick. You're a fucking pedophile. You deserve to be in prison. And I don't have no sympathy for you either, if anybody is, But it is an emotional movie as well. Not an easy film to sit through. Anyway, I'll read some quotes before I give my final opinion on this movie. Yeah. Well, Walter says to the guy, okay, we're running the story. He's like, you tell me to run the story, or we're going to run it anyway. You tell me, or you tell me now. And he's like, are you threatening me? He's like, we got two stories here. A story about a degenerate clerky, and a story about a bunch of lawyers turning child abuse into a cottage industry. Which story do you want us to write? Because we're writing one of them. Mel Keaton was just intimidating in that scene. This is how it happens, isn't it, Pete? Guy leans on a guy, and suddenly the whole town just look the other way. Sometimes it's easy to forget that we spent most of our time somewhere around the dark. Suddenly a light gets turned on, and there's a fair share of one to go around. I can't speak to what happened before I arrived, but all of you have done some very good reporting here. Reporting that I believe is going to have an imminent and considerable impact on our readers. For me, this kind of story is why we do this. Why we do this, investigative reporting. The first time I started talking about the writing, is like, oh hell yes, we're pregnant. We're writing the story. This city, these people making the rest of us feel like we don't belong, but they're no better than us. Look at how they treat their children. Mama rules, Mr. Rendez. If I take a village to raise a child, it takes a village to abuse one. When you're a poor kid from a poor family, religion counts for a lot, and when a priest pays attention to you, it's a big deal. Hey, should you collect the hummus or take the trash? You feel special. It's like God asking for help. So maybe it's a little weird when he tells you a dirty joke, but hey, you're staying together, so you alone. Then he shows. Okay, yeah. And so you go along with that too, because if you feel trapped, because he has a crime, you had to say no to God, right? See, it's important to understand that this is not just physical abuse, it's spiritual abuse too. And when a priest says this to you, he loves your faith. So you reach for the bottle with the needle, or those you don't. We jump off cliffs. That's why we call ourselves survivors. And this was from Phil Salvio, the first victim to come forward in the movie. That says he's been talking to them for a while. But I didn't want to mention, the whole thing with the priest. Some dirty things in here I didn't want to mention. I just didn't want to mention, sorry. They say it's just physical abuse, but it's more than that. It's spiritual. Oh, never mind. Did everyone read Ellen Fly's column this weekend? That's the Grogan case. Yeah, what's the problem with that? It's a column, what kind of problem are you thinking? Well, apparently these priests molested kids in 6 different parishes over the last 30 years. An attorney for the victims, Mr. Grogan, thanks, Ellen. Mr. Grogan, M. Grogan is Golden Rule, founded about 15 years ago and did nothing. Yeah, I think that attorney is a bit of a crank, and the church dismissed the claim. He said, she said. Whether Mr. Gambini is a crank or not, he says he has documents that prove that Cardinal knew. As I understand, the documents are under seal. Okay, but the fact remains a Boston police abused 80 kids. We have a lawyer who says he can prove law what know about, and we've written all of it. Yeah, I'm not going to say to read all this whole thing. I do not feel like it. Sorry, folks. I'm going to give my final opinion on this movie. So, Spotlight. This is a great movie. I love this film. This is a good movie. First of all, Tom McCarthy and him and the writer, Josh Singer, they did a good job making this film. Tom McCarthy did a good job directing it. Josh Singer did a good job writing it. So the directing and writing, I give praise to that. It's really good. And the story was really good too. But the story is also disturbing. I like the Spotlight team. The Spotlight team, these investigative reporters that try to, tell the truth. That they're doing everything to seek the truth and report the truth and tell the story that they believe, all reporters, I'm sure all reporters believe the truth should be told. And I agree, it should be. The thing with the child sexual abuse, though, that's very disturbing to listen to. When the victims in this movie talk about it, it's very disturbing to listen to, in my opinion. It's disgusting what these people went through and what these priests did. It's disturbing. Okay, now this is a good movie, but it can be hard to watch, especially when they're talking about, when these victims are talking about what happened to them when they were children. How these priests molested them. It's very disturbing to listen to. But, it's a good story, but it's also a disturbing story. And it is rated R, so there is language in it, a couple of F-bombs after a while, but also some sexual references, also some certain talks in here, they can be unsettling sometimes. Well, it is unsettling. Also, you have a great cast. Mark Ruffalo, Mike Keaton, Rachel McAdams, Lee Sharp, John Slattery, and Stanley Tucci. They all were great in this film. The entire cast was great. I always enjoy Mike Keaton's performance. Rachel McAdams, beautiful woman. She gives a great performance in here. That she has a nana in this movie and that she goes to church herself. And, she tries herself does more of the investigating of talking to victims in this movie, trying to say, look, I'm trying to help you, that's what she's trying to let them know. And Mark Ruffalo does a good job, Stanley Tucci, Lee Schreiber, they all do a great job in this cast. They did a great job. These actors are great. They did good. The musical by Howard Shore is really good. Cinematography, the editing is really good. They really do make it look like Boston in 2001. They really did a good job with that, with the Boston Globe. I like the filming there. And they did a really good job with the filming, The cinematography is really good. If I had some issues there to think about, well, I would say I think the movie is a bit too long, but that's just my opinion. I think it's way too long. I can't complain about the lines of dialogue, when the victims talk about it, because that is part of the movie. Only my one issue with this movie, I just pick one. It's just, I think it's way too long. But that's just my personal opinion. And I thought it dragged. The pacing dragged in some areas for me. But despite that, it's still a good movie. It's just, not a very, easy movie to sit through. Like I said, with the victims talking about their child, abuse, what they went through. But either way, it's a good movie it's a movie that needed to be made, I think, and a story that needed to be told, of what these, the Spotlight team is awesome in real life for what they did, for helping these victims out that needed it, and needed help, and, I'm just glad these priests were caught and put in jail. Hopefully all of them were, for what they did, because it's sick. Anybody, like I said, anybody that rapes a child or, molts a child, they belong in prison. So, the movie, I just think it has some pacing issues, and I thought it was way too long, but despite that, other than that, even though it's a disturbing movie at times, some of the dialogue I keep on saying, it's still a good movie nonetheless, with a great cast, and it'll keep you watching, so. And the directing and writing is really good. The script is good. Not much of effects. The film does feel realistic. It does feel like they are the Spotlight team, and they did a good job of making this true story event happen. Maybe not everything is mentally true. Is not everything true. Sometimes you do put fiction in here because it is a movie. So sometimes there will be fiction and non-fiction in the movie. But anyway, Spotlight, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. My rating for this film is 4 out of 5 stars. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And guys, tell me in the comments down below, what do you think of Spotlight? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? And tell me what you thought of Versus Spies too in that review. What you think of that movie? Hopefully I can record this. But anyway, guys, as for future videos coming up next on my channel, okay, since I'm done my 2015 reviews now, I will be doing a list like I did for 2014. What I'm going to be doing this time differently is I'm going to be doing like the best movies of 2015 to me, like my list of 2015. It's my list, my opinion, like the best, the worst movies of 2015 to me, my okay movies of 2015, someone call that. The okay movies, my okay movies. That's what I'm going to call it. And I'm going to say my favorite movies of 2015. But I'm going to do my list for films because I'm so behind on it. I know, like I said, I've been behind on newer movies because when I started working at Goodwill, I've been behind on reviewing movies and stuff. But then I was thinking after that, maybe reviewing SpongeBob the SquarePants movie, because it's requested. And I'm thinking in August, over in June, I'm thinking maybe August I might do some more request reviews. I know I gotta write some more down, but I know I have some request reviews written down. Some other videos I can do too, like tomato videos if I wanted to. Or, I might do scenes from other feature reviews I might want to do. So I might do some scenes from the movies. I still gotta get my PS4 fixed, but I'm planning to do some video game playthroughs, which I'll go ahead and mention real quick. Yeah. I just want to go ahead and mention this real quick, since I got some time. Well, I'm going to try to do these on my phone, these video game playthroughs. And I'm going to start testing video with Injustice 2. So this is not a video game playthrough, it'll be a testing video. That's what I'm going to call it. And there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll be 6 games I'll be doing playthroughs for. Hopefully, it depends on how long time. And for Batman Arkham City, Harley Quinn's Revenge, I'm going to play through that. Yeah, Batman Arkham City, Harley Quinn's Revenge. And I'm going to do the story of Injustice Dies Among Us. Yes, I'm going to play the story on here. As you play the characters out of the story. I'm going to play Star Wars Battlefront. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Sorry. And The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I'm going to do a video game playthrough of this. And of course a video game playthrough through the Spider-Man 2018 game. Save the best for last. So that's my plan. But guys, I hope you look forward to these video game playthroughs again. I still need to get my PS4 fixed. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's going to cost me some money, but I do have some videos, some videos, let's just say other videos planned in the works for my channel, so, and I still have a job, so I just have to save my money up. And guys, I hope you enjoyed my 2015 reviews. Hope I'm able to record this video. I hope so. And again, My rating for Spotlight is 4 to 5 stars and a thumbs up. Tell me what you thought of this movie. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this review, enjoyed these long reviews, 4 or 5 years of reviews I've been doing. And I will be doing more reviews for my channel, which I will be mentioning in the future. But I hope you enjoyed my review of Spotlight. I hope you enjoyed my 2015 reviews. Thank you for watching, guys, and subscribing. Keep on subbing, guys, and watching. Thanks for watching and your support. You guys are awesome. You guys are great. Alright, you guys are awesome. Love you all. You're good. Good friends. Good family of mine. I consider my subscribers family, so you guys are awesome. Thanks for sticking with me. And thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the best movies of 2014 to me. 2015. The best movies of 2015 to me. Part 1. So look forward to my list of 2015 films. From best, worst, okay, favorites list. So look forward to that next on my channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye. See ya.